Imagine booking a hotel inside the Marriott Bonvoy network, one of the most trusted hospitality ecosystems in the world. You see the Marriott branding, you earn Marriott points, you check in exactly the way you would at any Marriott property. You arrive, drop your bags, and get cozy into your room. And then someone knocks on your door and says, "You need to leave this property right now." This isn't a movie. This happened to real people earlier this month. Travelers in multiple cities were suddenly stranded, confused, and in cases forced out of their rooms in the middle of their trip. Thousands of booking collapsed, staff disappeared, and an entire operation shut down overnight. To understand how this disaster unfolded, we need to look at the timeline, the company behind it, and the quiet warning signs that have been building for years. This is the full story of Marriott Sonder meltdown. To understand why this crisis exploded the way it did, you need to know who Sonder was. So, Sonder Holdings was a tech enabled hospitality startup founded in 2014 in Montreal, later relocated its headquarters to San Francisco. Their concept was simple but brilliant. Take modern apartments, design them with a minimalistic aesthetic, automate check in through an app, skip the traditional hotel front desk, reduce staff, and run them like a hotel with the vibe of an Airbnb. Sonder grew quickly. By the late 2010 and early 2020s, they had expanded into New York, London, Dubai, Toronto, Montreal, Rome, Sydney, and 40 other cities worldwide. Their branding was stylish, their properties looked Instagram perfect, and the experience attracted younger travelers who wanted predictability with a modern twist. On paper, Sonder was the future of hospitality. Between 2023 and 2024, Marriott began integrating Sonder properties into the Marriott Bonvoy ecosystem. This meant Sonder rooms appeared inside Marriott's booking system. Guests earned and redeemed Marriott points. Property were marketed as part of Marriott family. Confirmation email and app listing followed Marriott style. Guests assumed Marriott was responsible for the experience. By late 2024, Sonder had thousands of rooms operating under the Marriott umbrella. To the public, these were Marriott approved stays, but behind the scenes, Sonder was still the operator, running staff, check-in payments, housekeeping, and property management. Marriott supplied the brand, Sonder supplied the operation. This arrangement only worked as long as Sonder remained financially stable. Here's where things started to break. From 2021 to 24, Sonder's financial health declined rapidly. They lost hundreds of millions of dollars, their stock price crashed after going public, they took on large lease commitments they couldn't sustain. They laid off staff multiple times, they openly acknowledged substantial doubt about survival. Sonder was expanding faster their revenues could handle. They were charming on the outside, bleeding cash on the inside. Marriott is a great corporation. They monitor their partners closely. By mid 2025, Marriott would have clearly seen missed financial targets, increasing debts, report of cash flow shortages, operational instability in multiple markets. This is the point where the relationship quietly began to sour. Marriott needed stable operation, Sonder was the opposite. The breaking point came on November 9, 2025. On that day, Marriott officially terminated its licensing agreement with Sonder. Not gradually, not over the months, immediately. This meant no more Marriott listings, no more integrations, no more Marriott branding, no more distribution support. For a company already financially collapsing, losing Marriott was catastrophic. In few hours, Sonder announced it was getting ready for Chapter 7 liquidation. Chapter 7 means shut down, sell assets, end operations. And because Sonder was the operator of all these properties, the collapse hit guests instantly. When Sonder collapsed, the destruction was immediate and brutal. Reservations were cancelled. Overnight, guests mid-stay were told they had to leave. Some properties stopped operating with zero warnings. Staff didn't show up because they were suddenly unemployed. Guest support lines were failed or went dark. So payments were not refunded because the company was shutting down. Buildings that looked like Marriott managed suddenly had no operators. There were videos of people standing outside buildings with luggage, confused about what just happened. Couples on vacation, family with kids, business travelers with meeting planned for next morning. Some guests were forced to pay last minute prices at other hotels. Others had no idea who to contact. A few even said they felt temporarily homeless. And here's the important part, most of these guests didn't even know what Sonder was. They booked through Marriott, they trusted the Marriott logo, and that's why the blame doesn't fall only on Sonder, it fell on Marriott too. Think about it from traveler's POV. You open the Marriott Bonway app, you see the Marriott branding, you earn Marriott points, your confirmation email looks like Marriott wrote it. You check in at a property that appears under the Marriott umbrella. So when things go wrong, who would you call? Marriott, right? But Marriott wasn't the operator, Sonder was. The problem is, guests don't care about the internal structure. They care about the brand they trusted. To them, if it's the Marriott system, it's a Marriott responsibility. This misunderstanding became the core of PR disaster. This meltdown didn't only happen because Sonder collapsed. It became public crisis because how the communication unfolded. Guests reported receiving multiple conflicting emails, being told the stay was still valid, while on-site staff told them to leave Marriott saying refunds weren't their responsibility. Sonder was going dark because their team was already laid off, banks going overwhelmed with chargebacks, customer service from both companies giving different answers. Some guests were literally standing outside buildings trying to reach support lines that didn't exist anymore. When communication collapses during a crisis, trust collapses with it. Marriott is financially strong enough to absorb the shock. But this wasn't just about money. The real damage was a hit to Marriott's liability image, guests questioning Marriott's vetting of partners, loss of confidence in Marriott's partner ecosystem, concern about how Marriott protects customer when things go wrong, a spotlight on the risk of Marriott asset-light model. Marriott built a reputation on consistency. This incident cracked their perception. So who caused this? Sonder mismanaged its finances for years. Marriott integrated Sonder deeply into its booking ecosystem without ensuring stability. The termination was abrupt, leaving no transition window. Sonder collapsed and Marriott's communication wasn't strong or unified enough to help guests. In reality, both companies contributed for this mess. But what about the people who paid the price? Travelers, families, employees, people who trusted the branding and got caught between two corporations. Marriott will recover. It's too big not to. But this crisis exposed one painful truth. When the name Marriott appears on a booking, guests expect Marriott level security, regardless of who the operator is. And once that trust cracks, it is hard to fully return.